Got 16 minutes to smash this shit out. Quick fire question and answers. Thank you for sending them all in on YouTube. Thank you to all the patrons for everything you do and contribute towards us. Without you, we can't do any of this. We like the content. Just had a donut as well, so that was lovely.
Question number 1. Is it true that you should never police in your own area?
No, it's not true, but it also goes on the thing of I've policed in my own area all my life, and I've locked up a lot of people I went to school with. I've dealt with incidents where I've met members of the public which are sort of like neighbours or live on the same street, and it causes that sometimes that rift because irrespective of who they are as a person, you've got to do your job. It's always recommended you don't work in your own area or where you live.
Did you ever feel the need to disobey a superior's orders?
Yeah, several times. I didn't do it a lot, but I only did it when I was told to lock up. What bosses like to do, they like to come to you and say, lock that lad up there or lock that lad up there because I've got stripes on. No matter what it has in law or what goes on, it's down to that individual officer to lock up, because if it ever goes to court or something gets done wrong, it's your name, it's your numbers inside of the lockup. So I've always said, no, I'm not locking that person up if I don't believe in it.
Emma says, was watching some police interceptors last night and wondered, has shouting, get off me, I haven't done anything wrong, ever made you or a colleague think, oh, okay, mate, sorry, I'll just let you go then?
Has it, fuck? No, I don't care what they shout. The only time they've shouted something is if they've got an injury or there's something wrong with them. So like, we once dealt with a person who had his shoulder fully rebuilt, so he couldn't put his arms behind his back. So as soon as we grabbed him or whatever, he said, don't put my arm behind my back, it won't bend or things like that. So, but no, if you say, get off me, no.
What is your opinion on special constables?
I actually really like specials. There was some in operational support which were better than some bobbies, more knowledgeable, better at the job than some bobbies were. When I first joined the police, some specials then were literally like you said, hobby bobbies, where they'd not be interested in the role. They just come to wear a uniform and play out on a Saturday night. All those days are gone. The specials that come in now are proper officers. They proper get stuck in with team and do a really good job. So yeah, brilliant specials. Good question.
Tea or coffee?
Tea, always tea. Yorkshire tea.
Outside of the police, what job would you like to do?
Well, now, YouTuber, podcaster. What I'd like to do, if I could pick any sort of like jobs, again, stuntman. Don't know why I'd say that. Actor, really like to be an actor. And if all this falls down, it's what I'm going into next. Yeah, so that's about it, really, acting.
Will the Pearson's Christmas light display be as awesome as it was for Halloween?
Yes, it will. Thank you very much. On Patreon, I'll be doing like technically a cribs kind of thing. Welcome to the Pearson's house and having a walk around on Patreon. So if you want that, sign up to Patreon.
Hi Ben, what is the average mileage on traffic cars?
Normally the traffic cars go to about 150, 160,000 miles before they're actually taken out of service. It gets to the point where things just start dropping off and breaking all the time, and it's not beneficial to fix them anymore. It's about 150, 60,000.
Also, are those cars remapped?
Next question.
Okay. Have you or any of your colleagues had an encounter with an angry police dog? They look very cute, but I wouldn't want to upset one.
When the police dogs are actually born and they come into service, the police dogs are then walked around as puppies around the police stations, and then the one team might have one dogman like Simon or Andy, who were our dogmen. And then he'd bring that puppy in with his normal dog for 6 to 8 months. So that puppy would be working alongside you, and it'd know your scent, it'd know who you were in theory. So when you went to a job, it couldn't 100% differentiate. If you run, it'd see you as a target and it'd go for you. But there were times when we're out searching and it'd come beside you, look at you, and you could see it in his face, and thinking, do I bite you or not? And then all of a sudden you'd see it switch on and go, no. So I've been right outside the dogs. I've been rolling around on the floor when a dog's got its target, so to speak. And it's a horrible, scary feeling when you can hear them growling, snorting. But they've never attacked me. And if you treat them with respect and you listen to the handlers, they're fine.
How often do you stop for donuts or snacks while on duty?
To make this clear, I've just had a donut now. They've just fed me, these lads have just fed me a donut. Snacks, we stop quite a lot, but snacks don't always have to be unhealthy. Donuts, being honest with you, we used to get donuts as a treat when we used to have someone coming on attachment or someone came to see us and liked what we did. Donuts, once a week, once every 2 weeks. Snacks, probably every day.
Have you ever caught a burglar in the act?
Yes, many times. I've caught them at burglaries, car thefts, factories, coming out of back gardens with videos in their hands, you name it. But yeah, It's quite rare to get a burglar on premises, but yeah, we've caught a lot of them over 19 years, yeah.
Favourite police car from across the world?
Oh, God. I like the big stuff they have in States, the big V8s, all these sort of things. If I could pick a police car from across the world, it's going to be probably movie inspired. It's going to be probably Mad Max's car, the Interceptor, V8 Interceptor, which I think were a Falcon, I think. Send that in on the comment, let me know what it is, but it's the Mad Max 2's Interceptor.
How heavy was the gear and how did it affect your speed and agility?
Very heavy. In stone, probably 2 stone of gear, all in all, which is quite a lot. I can't give it in pounds, ounces, this sort of thing, but it's probably about 2 stone. Running, fighting, everything like that. You had an initial burst, and after that initial burst, if you weren't where you needed to be, you'd have to run back, or fighting with someone. You could roll around on the floor with someone for 2 minutes and you're absolutely shattered. There were no way you could literally get off the floor. So yeah, it's massively restricting what you wear, but firearms are even heavier than what ours are, because ours are ballistic, I think, to 9mm, and they're fully ballistic vests. So yeah, it's very heavy.
Were you ever worried about damaging your patrol car during a pursuit? And if so, did it ever stop you from pursuing?
We don't want to damage cars. We hate damaging cars, but it gets to a certain point in a pursuit where you think, I've got to take this person out. I were in a pursuit with the sergeant's brand new X5. Rick, if you're watching, I do apologise. He said, take it, but do not smash it up. About 20 minutes into the shift, I ended up smashing a stolen car through a brick wall in a pursuit. I do apologise. You don't want to smash cars up, it's taxpayers' money, but if you're behind the car, stolen a burglary, just done 2 armed robberies, that sort of thing, and there's a chance to take it out, you take it out.
Is it really a single person's gig? Can you excel in the force and still maintain a good social life?
There's a lot of people that come in married that get separated. There's a lot of people that come in single and get married. There's a lot of relationships that break up. You've got to put in what you want to get out, so to speak. If you're good and you take your time and you sit your stall out, no, it's not a single person's, it's a family thing, but you've got to understand you're giving a lot to the force. There's a lot of weddings, Christmases, birthdays that you're going to miss, and if you've got a partner that accepts that, that's fine. It's when you don't have that, and that's when the separations can start, but no, I won't say so, no.
Have you ever put someone in cuffs, put them in, and then realised you've made a major mistake and got the complete wrong person? If so, what's the comeback from that?
Oh God, well, it's wrongful arrest, and then compensation gets paid out to the person you've locked up. There's been 2 incidents where 2 Asian brothers, and they both lied about their identity and switched driving licenses, took the name out in the other person's driving license and passports. So if you can understand, they had the original passports, either of them, and then they took driving licenses and passports and then swapped details again, took all the ones out. So they had 2 on each side. One of the blokes were wanted on warrant, so he was getting dealt with, and the other bloke had the other bloke's ID, so we had to lock both of them up to prove who they were, and it were only through fingerprints. So if you can think about it, we had 2 Ben Pearsons, both different looking, but both came out on passports and arrest records as Ben Pearson's, born 3rd of May 76 and lived at this address, and they were both brothers, and it were only the fingerprints. So that's the closest I've sort of like got to that.
Someone said, thanks for the salt and vinegar Quavers recommendation.
Yes, Quavers.
Keeping this question light, what is your favourite sandwich?
I'd normally go for cheese and tomato, or cheese and red onion. That's my normal go-to sandwich. My favourite sandwich though is like I said on Jack Mate, the chicken and bacon one. If I had to go for like somewhere out and we were going to a petrol station, it's always chicken and bacon. I don't know why. I just sort of like it. I think it goes really well together. So probably chicken and bacon, or it'd be cheese, onion and tomato. That Coke's fizzy. I want a burp. Oh, sorry.
Who, barring yourself obviously,
Me.
Who was the best pursuit driver out of all of the cops, the traffic cops?
Oh God! Right. Oh God! I'm going to blow smoke up people's arse here. Like called Warren. If you watch him, Warren were really good. Fez were brilliant as well, and Dave were good as well. So they're probably like the best ones on my team. In other teams, there were Mikey Rowe, which a lot of people know Mikey Rowe, Spenner, Nick Priestley. There were loads, but yeah, one of the best ones were Warren. Warren were fast and smooth, and so were Fez. So yeah, so brilliant. But yeah, I'm not going to blow my own trumpet and say I was best one. So I don't think that.
If you could add or remove one thing on the Voxel Vector traffic car you loved, what would it be and why?
The badge. No, what I could add 4x4. I'd make the Voxel Vector VXR a 4x4. I think that's where they miss the biggest trick is at. People obviously watch Clarkson on Top Gear and say, oh, don't go around corner, it's full of understeer. That's because Clarkson's on a track and it's just putting full lock on. There's a pursuit car around towns and city centres and everything it needed to be. Fantastic car. So unless you've actually driven one in a pursuit, you don't know. So if you've driven one in a pursuit and it's 4-wheel drive, absolutely cracking car, brilliant.
There's a lot of trauma in the police force mentally, but do you have any special ways of dealing with that?
Yeah, no, the one, that's why I fell poorly and came out. At the moment, there still isn't, as far as I'm aware. You're seeing you do everything that comes into police, murders, fatals, kiddie deaths, everything. There's no sort of like real recovery, no real place to go, nothing to do, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get this back to basics, so there's some sort of covenant written into police law, training, however you want to put it, that there needs to be some sort of recovery time, there needs to be some sort of way to deal with trauma, but no one in the police sort of like opens up and accepts I'm struggling, because they'll say that if you do say that, you're going to be taken out of place. So if you're in firearms, if you're in traffic, if you're in a special ops, if you're in rape unit or anything, you're straight out of that and you put in some sort of like weird call handling place, and that doesn't fix the problem. So what fixes the problem is going back to grassroots and finding out what's caused that trauma and that issues in the first place. So that's still going to be coming, but yeah, at the moment, no, that's not there.
Last one. How do you keep your cool when someone you've arrested is getting personal with the insults that they throw at you?
They're only words. Regardless of what you say, you've got to look at the bigger picture. It's only words. It doesn't mean anything. I could say, hey Ben, you've got a small penis and you're ugly. Well, yeah, I do, but it's not my fault. It doesn't mean anything. All they're trying to do is trying to get a reaction out of you. I have reacted a lot of times, but the more mature you get, the longer in service you get, you just don't rise to it because there's no point. But yeah, so yeah, I tell you what, I enjoyed that. We love your comments, keep them coming in, and we love your support, so thank you. Big love. Subscribe.